What up, y'all? So, let's get into the start of the yap. So, the reason I'm beginning with space is because it is such a broad term and it is perfect for the overall arcing message of the whole entire series plus mini series that exists with this is understanding the bigger picture. Because really, once you look outward, and in some very certain cases, depending on yourself, inward, you start understanding more about how fighting games function and how to abuse the way fighting games actually genuinely function and interactions to sit there and get more. So space is just that broad of a term where it automatically starts you in like, what do you mean, old man? And it starts you looking at that bigger picture. So space. So what I'm defining as space is literally what it is. Like, I cannot put that basically any other way. The thing about space is it's literally the whole screen. Like, everything around the screen is space. Like the space behind Mitsuru is space. And I own all of that space currently as it stands behind me. Because Akihiko literally cannot touch it because he's in front of me. The same way all of the space behind Akihiko right now is his space. There's nothing I can do about that unless I encroach upon it and or force him to have less of it. Which is why owning space matters. You see this really hard once it gets in the basic of fighting games, where you take out the concept of space and then think about positioning being more in, are you mid-screen or corner? And in this case, I'm going to start with mid-screen because there is a gigantic mid-screen difference in space acquisition here just at round start. I'm going to switch to Akihiko real quick. So the big thing just at round start is that currently we have equal space, right? The amount of screen distance behind Mitsuru and behind Akihiko on paper is the same. Like, literally is legitimately the same on paper because you are at round start mid-screen. But the big thing and difference in the space is that if I 5A with Akihiko, this does nothing. It reaches nowhere. It does not really interact or interrupt any of Mitsuru's space at all. But I'm Mitsuru, so my 5A does hit around start, right? Gigantic difference in what you can do with that space. So your toolkit is a play in this, so you do have to keep that in mind. But especially in a case like this, you have to keep in mind you're interacting with someone's space, and the space behind you and in front of you matters. And knowing how you position within their space is genuinely a thing. Especially, again, once we talk about the positioning involved with it. Where, in a case like Mitsuru, right? She quickly can take space with things like Coop. So it's like, even if she loses all this space, Coop, especially considering it's partially steerable, drastically changes space, because me doing Coop at round start, that's not reset. If I do Coop at round start and I hold back, basically, I just pushed Akihiko completely out of his space, but I didn't really take him. While if I'm actually holding forward, I'm actually taking slightly more space. And I think it's easier to see this actually once you do the auto combo confirm, where if you sit there and actually go into B-Coup, all the way into the corner from round start, right? Well, if I sat there and do this again, but I hold back, now, all the way in the corner from round start, but the thing is, I'm not encroaching upon the space enough to sit there and really say that I've gained all the space up to the corner and to truly say I have Akihiko cornered, because my 5A no longer reaches. I have to do multiple 5As from here to sit there and eventually get to the corner. So he has the ability to actually run out and regain some of the space that I forced him to lose. And just being able to regain that space is an option. Which is why the corner is such a dominant position. Because of the fact that you have to keep in mind, now that they're in the corner, that's not control. Like Akihiko here, being cornered, 5A, Mitsuru can reach from here. It's like he can only go up, forward, or jump up, forward. Like, you only have 3 ways just in movement case to get out without using the rest of your toolkit. So you're very limited on where you can do, because you can't just go back. While in Mitsuru's case, I can go back. I can go up, back. Heck, my neutral jump actually matters here, because of the fact that even then, because of her range, she can protect her space underneath her from here. Something Akihiko can't do. And that's, again, with basics of fighting games, also understanding reward, right? Mitsuru, normal Mitsuru specifically, let me put that out there, doesn't gain too much reward or has that much combo potential from mid-screen. Unless it's special cases like you getting anti-aired, or you're getting counter hit, or crouch confirmed, stuff like that. She doesn't naturally have routes for true reward in the damage sense. She has a lot of reward when it comes to positioning, but she does not have that much reward for damage. Because, again, she can't just link into her charge 2B. Like, her charge 2B is the biggest thing in her kit that leads to her damage up. So, with that being inaccessible without using meter or having special case options, mid-screen for her is a fight to basically push to the corner and gain as much space as you can possible to get into what can be called her golden position, and I will talk more about this in a separate video after another video. The thing about her when she gets to the corner is that literally now we're talking about she has access to damage. Even if I don't finish the combo, the fact that she now has access to actually routing does change a lot. Just that change alone makes it so she is now more of a threat on top of your options being limited, which makes it so, again, yeah, that space kind of mattered, dog. So even though it's such a broad term, it is very simple once you look at it from a glance. It's just that you have to sit there and actually step back and look at what it is from a glance. So with that, that's the intro video to space, and then I'm going to immediately get into another video after this, with that video being focused on how you manipulate space, which is going to be a fun one. Later, y'all.